Alright, welcome back to We Play Games. I'm Walker, and here we are resuming our Cultural Blitz campaign. So we're playing as the Franks right now on turn 34, but we're going to go ahead and just switch in to an early modern, and I think what it's going to boil down to is we're going to go with the Edo-Japanese, simply because this is going to be getting us like 125 extra influence, whereas the Ming, which is the other big competition here, we only have 8 enacted civics right now, so it would only be 80 influence. I think the emblematic unit and the emblematic building are better for the Ming than they are for Japan, but I think that overall, because the bonus that sticks with you is a lot stronger for Japan than it is for Ming, that's what pushed it over the edge for me, because I don't really want to stay Japanese. We want to, as soon as possible, switch into Italian. But this is what we've been doing. We went through Olmecs, which I think probably is the strongest faction in the game. We managed to snipe it by pushing to it pretty early. Alright, so military architecture lets us absorb cities. I would think crossbowmen. It's usually a good one. Getting to patronage is also insanely powerful, so we'll try to find a way to slot that in. All of these hamlets are going to just explode our population, but that's kind of exactly what we've been waiting for, a way to dramatically increase our population growth. Alright, so we're going to get around 5,000 influence here. That's fine. Alright, we're going to just barely make it in terms of influence necessary to take either Machu Picchu or Topkapi. But Topkapi, if we take it first, it does get us 100% production towards any shared project. So we're going to do that one. And then we're going to get that built somewhere. It's going to be San Lorenzo, the capital, unsurprisingly. Oh my god, we need so much influence now, it's insane. Thank god we took Japanese. No, we're too close to not be able to finish this in one turn. There we go. Got it down to a turn 39. Alright, yeah. And now we're back to just dumping hamlets all over. Hamlets are one of the most powerful things in the game, pretty inarguably. So the reason that hamlets are so powerful is that a lot of the other districts that we've been building have to be built adjacent to something, so you can't just like plop them down in the middle of nowhere. But hamlets, literally the thing that they do that makes them so good is that they plop down in the middle of nowhere, and of course they give you tons of extra jobs. They give you 1 slot for each type of FID up here, FIDC. Right now I'm just trying to make sure I'm not crashing my stability for any of my cities. The more districts you add, the more it hurts your stability. But, of course, the more districts you add, the more stuff you've got going on, which is always a good thing. Wow, we are just starving to death on influence. We've been only asleep the entire game, and we don't have enough. So as soon as we can, we're getting trade rights with everybody and just buying all of their stuff. Because there are buildings that are going to give you bonuses for just having trade routes, even if they don't really move any goods that you care about. Doesn't matter, you might as well get it. Alright, so we have all of it coming. All of the trade is flowing into us, I think. 214 population, okay. 1 more turn for another cultural blitz, good, because we definitely could use it. Yeah, because we can fill in this part of the map, we can annex all of these little states down here. We don't even need to go through the hassle of annexing them with treaties. We could potentially just form a big army here and take them out. That might be the cheaper way to do it, honestly. And now we can claim Machu Picchu, which is also going to dramatically increase the amount of food that we have moving around. I think we're going to go ahead and take Italians. Yeah, let's do Italians. Turn 42 Italians. And then Italians we might delay switching out into Swedes for, just kind of depending on what's going on the board. But I think Italians is going to be a pretty big upgrade for us. How close are we? How close are we to one turning that? Nah, not very close. All right, so we will keep it as this. All right, our army is a lot bigger and a lot stronger than anything that one of these little minor city-states can throw at us. So we're going to go ahead and conquer Passaron, and then we're going to be able to slap these things onto it, and then we'll conquer some of the rest of these, actually, and just add them onto the territory as we conquer them. Centuries after the Renaissance. Yes. Machu Picchu, heavy infantry. Sure, all of this stuff happened at the same time, roughly, in 200 CE, in the industrial era. The one thing that is stinging is that our land is going to be, despite being a lot more plentiful than everybody else, it's going to be a lot less useful. All right, so we're 2,500 points ahead of our second place competition in fame. That's Babylon out here. All right, yeah, I'm starting to see they're putting together a little bit of territory for themselves, but unfortunately, like, we're really gonna control the overwhelming majority of the world here. Yeah, you know what, let's just go ahead and take patronage. Patronage is gonna enable us to start doing the luxury boosters, which really we should have needed to start doing earlier, but we are running a little thin on industry due to the fact that we are pushing all of this influence growth. We have like absolutely no makers quarters going on just because we haven't really been in any of the industrial civs. Those are the ones that really benefit from it, the ones who have emblematic districts that are makers quarters. It's like one of the reasons that people like Egyptians. They do have a very strong emblematic building at the beginning of the game. Bright side, our units are just like ridiculously strong. Downside, they are pretty slow. And there doesn't seem to be a way for our cavalry to really make use of any of this river. All right, so the heavy infantry are just getting mulched. So we'll just retreat them. This is why I think the Italians have the best unit in the game, because they can just climb all over this cliff face. Alpines can do whatever they want to when it comes to combat. No fear. But we're getting there. This battle was so lopsided that our arquebusiers even were able to participate. All right, we got a militarist star, and that's why we're happy to use this army to just invade all of these independent people, because we want to make sure that we're making good on our fame,
even if it's not yours,
because we're pushing the game to be like really fast, but we do want to make sure that we don't stall it out. If we run out of ways to close the game and somebody else catches up to us technologically, we are going to be way behind on total fame, because we've just been clicking forward every single time, not been hanging out and collecting fame. We're gonna build La Venta into a really big market quarter, because one of the fame things that we haven't been pushing for at all has been money. But we've started to build up a pretty big harbor sector, so it's actually gonna be pretty easy for us to flex into market quarters. We're short on money. We're short on money because we spent all of it upgrading our army, but that was worth it. I think missing one turn here is not going to make or break it. Yeah, because we'll get a turn 47 and a turn 52 probably. Yeah, I think we'll do that, and then we'll switch into Swedes for turn 53 or so. And Swedes at turn 53 or so we're gonna bury people in science. We could also bury people militarily, but it kind of just doesn't matter. At a certain point, you have military is science and science is military. There we go. The battle at Passaron was won. So we should be able to seize the city now. Good. Now we're going to get the salt manufactory. +5 food on harbor isn't bad. We've already gone a good way in that direction. 100-day pilgrimage is also just more influence. Yeah, it's more influence. Good. We need the Eiffel Tower, because this thing is going to give us tons of extra industry, which we are kind of choked on right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab Eiffel Tower. All right, well, our samurai are really just dumpstering everybody they fight. Which is what you want out of an emblematic unit. You want them to be powerful. We have 9 cities, and then we have 1 out of Kerma, 2 that are split, 2 that are split, 2 that are split. No wonder Babylon is our number 2 competition. They're the only one that we didn't just like bury in culture points. So yeah, that's sort of, I think, the strongest general strategy right now in Humankind. I don't know. It seems pretty hard for the AI to counter it, at least, because the thing is that Estates, they also have this nice little bonus that if somebody attacks you, there's a massive shift in war support, and so it's just like hard to attack an Estate character. Eiffel Tower, cool. Excellent. We're gonna start getting the techs that reduce the cost of things. Those are really strong when it comes to growing your growth. Yeah, one more turn, we'll click Cultural Blitz, and then we will switch over to the Swedes for the end of the game. So I just slightly overbought, and so unfortunately we are not going to be able to switch out until next turn, but that's okay. It gets us more time to not score anything. We're not going to score anything, are we? No, probably not. All right, well, my bad. I was trying to build up Passaron after having conquered it, and we spent a lot of gold there, and we got it up and going, and it's growing really fast. 616 food is really insane, but we're gonna miss the thing, and it's all my fault. It's okay. So the real choice here is, do we go into Soviets, or do we go into Swedes? Soviets would be just conquer the rest of the world, which maybe that's where we are. I don't know. I usually like to go into Swedes because I like to do big tech stuff, but we are a lot stronger than these guys, like really a lot stronger than these guys. Yeah, let's adopt Soviets. Actually, we were gonna do all of the tech, but I think we might be able to just conquer the world. That would be a way to end the game by turn 75. Just TPK. We just need to get a couple of these. We just need to get them upgraded, and then we need to get to some Soviet arms manufactories, and then our troops should be able to just march straight through here, effectively unopposed. Right? We have reached the modern era, turn 54. I really don't think I'm ever gonna use this one though, because we're just gonna attack and annex these people. Look at what we're fighting against. The Mongols over here, they mostly have pikemen. If we have trench infantry and they have pikemen, I feel pretty good about our chances. Yeah, we're just gonna start building arms manufactories everywhere. Alright, so now we can get Cristo Redentor, plus 10% food, 10% money, 10% industry. That is easily worth 5,250. Go ahead and have industry start to pile in. And that's what I think you should be using independent states for towards the end of the game, is just getting military stars. It's pretty easy. You might even want to just do it right away, but I find I like having a couple of independent states on the board that I can try to annex, so that way I can save myself a little bit of hassle. Right now we're at 8 turns for Cristo Redentor, but that's, without all of our cities working on it. We should be able to get that down to 3 or 4. Man, this army is just gonna clean up. We're gonna get all of these territories basically for free. Oh, right, and we're in the final stretch, so now we just need to get max stars for everything, and then the game's over. I will say this, the combat in Humankind is so much better than the combat in Civilization 6. This is a really interesting combat that I haven't really been commentating, but I think I could have. It looked like it was actually initially favoring the opponents, but what we did is we had this big choke point up front, and we had a massive advantage in cavalry, and we just outflanked the enemies, and were able to push we only have 1 Naginata here, which is enough, but it was only 1. It's not like our entire army was elite. Although, boy, they are elite. Best to attack or best to defend here? Because we could just defend. It wouldn't be very sexy, but I think it probably is correct. Because we don't want to lose any of these units unless we have to. Yeah, we'll bring the bait back. Oh no, we're going to lose a great swordsman. That's alright. Trading 1 unit for a town is not gonna slow our war down. Yep, there we go. Militarist star unlocked. Yeah, this is gonna be all we need. It's time to end the treaties. We've broken off our open borders with these 3 in here, and now we're gonna begin some wars of consolidation. The fact that you can magically heal your army after every battle if you have enough money is a really huge improvement when it comes to quality of life. All right, we're gonna give these guys a couple of turns to get their troops in order. All right, so we'll annex Hippo Regius, and then we'll go up and take those 2. And then we'll have almost the entire world by turn 65. Are we gonna be able to? Yeah, alright, we're gonna be able to take down Kerma first, actually, the Mongols. The only thing that's a little spooky with the Soviets is that you do need to keep your stability in mind, because your stability is gonna be really pressured in ways that you don't normally have it. Yeah, we just need 2 more spaces to get our 3rd star for expansionists. How close are we to finishing the game? We need a Steet, Science, Merchant. Alright, so there's still a good chunk of that stuff left, but if we can wipe out the other empires, then that's another win condition, I guess. Whatever. We're gonna surprise war them. It doesn't matter. War support ain't no thing. Yeah. Alright, Laventa, you have served as a wonderful conscription center, because we just drained their population like crazy. Down to 24. I like that tension though. It means that like you don't want to just ignore the cost of having an army. There's an opportunity cost, but there's much more than that. Oh my god. Look at that. Yeah, we're gonna build another army in 1 turn out of Seuss. Jesus. Our army is gonna be huge. The Soviet army is going to blot out the sun. Alright. It's time. We're gonna declare war. All right, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's assault the city. See if we can win this war in one fateful battle. So here we are. We are beginning our siege at Kerma. We can immediately delete one of their troops. Good. Oh, there's another one off the board. Just want to remove as many enemy units as we can, because the more units we've removed, the harder they'll have to defend their flanks. And if they can't defend their flanks, then the units that we have remaining will just be way more combat effective. Unfortunately, our knights really can't do anything except maybe draw fire. That's not the worst thing they can do. Oh man, yeah, we're just running through these enemies up here. Oh no, their entire army is just prowlers. Is that what's going on over there? Alright, so they have a great swordsman. So the army is going to technically hold out, but it appears as though the Mongol defender here is just about to get completely overrun by the Swedes? No, the Soviets. The Soviet army is the one that's crushing it out here. Oh my god. These Naginata. The battle will continue next turn. Alright. But I think that means that we're gonna win that war. And then those troops can redeploy down to here. Yeah, and they can mop up that army for sure. We'll sneak in a couple of arms factories here and there, because they are very powerful, and the more that we have, the more unbelievably unbeatable our troops are going to be. I think that's another one of those things that's like not a big secret. The Soviets are probably the strongest faction in the game, just because like they scale so ridiculously, just so ridiculously. I don't know how we're gonna finish this though. I think we are literally gonna have to do a world conquest to end this in any reasonable time frame, because our science is pretty non-existent. We are at 3,778 and it's turned 62. That's immeasurable. That's really bad, especially in comparison to where you could be with Sweden. But that's okay. Like, our tech doesn't matter if there aren't any enemies left. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and just surprise war these guys. Alright, so we've deployed a massive army here to fight against the Mississippians. Yeah, but we have a pretty considerable advantage in terms of our military resources now, because we really have way out-teched them, and we have tons of money to hurl at stuff. So this is just the snowball cleanup phase. And then our cavalry just kind of like parade around the outside of the fort, trying to convince the defenders inside to sally forth for no reason. Yes, come attack me. But I think the combat, it's fun. It does have some reminiscence of like a total war in a sense, because there is a tactical aspect to it, right? I'm not just bringing more resources than they are. I'm building a mixed army, and that mixed army is going to have some pretty serious advantages. Here we go. Won the siege for Knossos. Everybody else is going to have a lot more war support than we will. But I don't know if that's going to matter, because if they don't have any armies, then I don't see how they're going to resist us. Oh, alternatively, we could just make them become a vassal. So we don't have... We actually can't annex Kerma entirely. That's okay, I don't think I need to. I think we'll just take Kerma and make them become a vassal. And we'll take Amoria. Sure. Forced surrender. Well, the Soviet army is now just marching across the land. We just reduced Sarai to a vassal. I think we're probably not going to have the war support to annex everybody directly, but if we can vassalize everyone, then I think that'll end the game. And that's all we're really looking for at this point, is just a victory. Because we're there. Nobody else can stop us, and now it's just a question of how quickly can we finish it up. Alright, Beowulf is going to accept a war resolution. Alright, forced surrender. So we want you to become a vassal. Here we go, you got another vassal. Oh my god. Everybody is attacking this one stack. No! You have to survive. Oh my god. Are they gonna make it? That would be a hell of a thing. Oh baby, we got it. Zero losses. Yeah, alright. Everybody else, you don't get any more manual battles. You guys gotta sort this out for yourself. Alright, we're gonna start sending our armies west. Yeah, we just got 2 enemies left. Alright, sure. And now they are our vassal. So this is the second to last war we gotta fight here. Yep, assault, instant, 4% losses. There we go. And now we're down to one last war. Yeah, just on time to make probably not a big difference, but we do finally have Alpini. I think these are the best military units in the game, if you can get to them. If you just world conquest before then, then they're obviously not quite as good, but they're still very powerful. Oh my god, the Soviet army is here. Holy cow. It's enormous, right? That's what they're saying to each other. This is just unlike anything they've ever seen. And on that note, treaties, close borders, tolerate skirmishes. I've seen some games where you just end up with like this kind of snowballing going on, but you mess up something in your stability and then something revolts and then it's a big problem. And I think it's important to know that you can make mistakes. None of these aren't things that we were not prepared to sacrifice. We're just gonna assault everything now. Attack, attack, attack. Because we just need to capitulate those two cities. 2 cities are all that stands between us and victory. Sure. Oh, greetings. War resolution? What shall we discuss? Forced surrender? Become a vassal? Done? There we go. Oh yes. Excellent. This is your last turn. All empires are vassalized. You'll be remembered as mythical Nurgle's herald. Alright, good. Yeah, whatever. I'll just click something. Why am I building things? The game is over. I can't help myself, chat. Alright, turn 75. That's not bad. Alright, so that is a turn 75 win on Humankind difficulty. Fast speed here on We Play Games. Look at that. This is, I think, the story right here. Look, our food was just way more than everybody else. Way more than everybody else. And I guarantee you it's because our cities were just way more than everybody else. If there was a way to, our pops, look, like almost 480 pops, and then we drafted everybody. It was like a fifth of the game was just warfare at the end. But yeah, that's Humankind. I really do think that if you are not taking the estate characters in the first 2 ages especially, I think you're probably hampering yourself. It's sometimes less pronounced if you're playing on continents, but sometimes it's more pronounced, because you can, on a continent, you can end up with like a situation like this, right? Where we could just very, very easily bottle up a lot of our enemies, and then we would have switched into probably a militarist, or just started attacking people a lot earlier, right? If there had been ocean here, then it probably would have made sense for us to vassalize these guys a long time ago. But yeah, that's Humankind, that's Walker, that's We Play Games. I'm gonna do a tier list later for leadership. I think pretty obviously, I think that aesthetics are the S ranks. But other than that, I think there is some diversity. Like if you get stuck behind, the big thing that you want to do is come up with a way to overcome whatever the aesthetic person was, because you can always just like keep your it might not be efficient, but you can always keep the faction that you start with and just keep going. That said, I do think Olmec is probably the strongest faction in the game. If you've played Humankind and you have thoughts about that, let me know, like post in the comments. But I really do think that these guys are the absolute best of the ancient, and I think the Mauryans are the absolute best of the classicals. Medievals, maybe it's debatable as to the Franks, because the Khmer are very powerful. But as it turns out, like if you just have ways to spend influence to grow, then you might as well just keep getting influence, and aesthete is the easiest way to get it. All right, that's Walker. Take care.